Hello, and welcome to episode 19 of the Digital Quill podcast. That is episode 19 with your co-host and Mars Wilson. That's right, I said co-host. I might have some interesting news, fellow Digital Quill family. Every now and again, I might have a stand-in with another person every now and again. I know I just said that twice. Wow, Don't I always do this? Don't I always do this thing where I just suck at speaking sometimes? But that's the beauty of podcasting. By episode 118, I might be better.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches.
Indeed.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Nathan, and I guess I'm just gonna try out podcasting for funsies because I don't know. I'm a somewhat media guy. I've done creative stuff before. Used to do a lot of music. Got some kind of degree in music. That was fun. You know, I've been online, but I kind of don't do online, really. I just kind of lurk and browse, whatever. Just kind of see what's going on, keep up with things here and there, but I did have like a song that I made that I'm pretty proud of. I was in a music video that was fucking sick. I don't know. I'm not like trying to shill anything or say, hey, go check out this or that. I'm just be like, I'm here and I'm gonna try to help out. So this is what we're gonna talk about. That's something that is a pretty neat idea. And I was surprised how like easy to understand that it was, and it's like, yeah, that's okay. I get what that is. So I'm just kind of teasing it up a little bit here, talking it up. Why not? Sure. What is this topic, you might ask? Well, that'll be back to your horse. Your horse. Editing. That'll be back to your Mars.
Unfortunately.
No, that'll be back.
My friend, we get it. We're good.
Your host,
I
Mars.
don't do editing. I do not do editing because of this exact reason. I enjoy.
It's a little dry.
I enjoy the storytelling that is humanity, and we have a perfect example here.
You know what?
Both of us. Of humanity and telling stories.
I'm a little proud of myself there. I rolled with that a little bit longer than I thought, maybe a little bit longer than I thought I could. And so, this is how we go now. Just gotta try it out, do what you gotta do, and sometimes it sounds like, yeah, this is something what you gotta do.
On that note, I am very proud of you. I'm glad that you are here today, and before I get into today's topic, I want to let you know that one of the reasons why I do this podcast is so we can all come out of our little shells and our strange masks that we put on to tell the world that we're this person, when in reality, we are lying to ourselves. Some of us are goofy, some of us are dorky and nerdy, some of us have some dark secrets, like I watch a lot of rom-coms sometimes, and I know I've lightened on that, but it's really bad, guys, okay? I have it's a problem, okay?
I mean, some can be pretty good, but then there's a point where it's like, yeah, it's a rom-com.
It's a rom-com addiction. But that's it, we're all humans, and we're all here to tell a story, and I'm thankful that you're here today, and I'm glad you're willing to do this, and I hope future co-host, I hope you're here for the future co-host episodes. I hope this doesn't scare you away, so.
Yeah, it's could be a sudden shock to some people to be like, oh, I didn't expect someone who was, that is quite a title, co-host. I'm like, yeah, I'll be here for a while. Let's go. Screw it. Why not? And I'm looking forward to any kind of future things that I could input on or be a part of. I don't know if I'll be here for all of it and any of it, because time is a thing that is taken away from us by the forces that be. So,
I know.
Here and there, let's see.
I know I've only had one episode with a guest so far on record. I'm working on that in the background, guys. It's really hard to connect with other adults in the 21st century. We take it where we can. But what is a guest if not a co-host? And technically you are a guest, but you are also
True.
here in person, and
Yep.
you've shown an interest in wanting to do more than just your past stories that you've shared with us today and then some. You want to keep going. You want to
Yeah.
keep going, and I am proud of you for that. So thank you for being here. It's seriously an honor.
No. Thank you for having me, because it's interesting, because sometimes you don't know until you try, and it's like there's some things that you got to do that lead to good things, and most of the time you got to just get up and do it, and do it in like a physical, actual way. Put that pen to paper, and doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're doing something with it and it makes you happy.
For the record, I feel like that was a slight dig at both of us. So
Oh yeah, it's something we all got to do a little more of, right? Right? It's yeah, that's the trick.
Well, I did want to keep this at like 30 to 45 minutes today because I wanted to keep it short and sweet as to not let social anxieties get the better of me. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for you, but I assume.
We all have some of our own little hang-ups here and there. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes as long as you can recognize them, then you can face them.
It
Right.
Just to let you know, this is just as scary as it is for me as it probably is for you, because this is my first time having an in-person guest, so it's
Well.
strange, but also awesome, so cool. And on that awesome note, and on the note that we are all human with stories to tell, today's topic, today's reason for being here is a concept I found online. I found it online because of other people, and it's this concept I have seen multiple times over in many iterations. It's called the good things jar. At least that's what I call mine. You've probably seen me talk about it on my Instagram recently. I posted a couple of stories of things that I've just been up to. I've definitely talked about it when I started making it on my Twitter X. Or I can't keep all the social medias together. I need help with that.
That one. You know. You know the one.
Oh my gosh. You know the one if you've been here a minute. If you know, you know. But the good things jar is my reminder and also my example from the things that I've learned from other people to do keep the good things close. We have such an inclination as human beings, as a species, we have such an inclination as a species, as a human being, to focus so hard on the negative, on the things that are not productive or positive. And yes, I understand on some level, I have talked about it, that we do kind of need the negative to highlight the positive. But why is our focus so hard, like, on the negative? I mean, there's answers to that, but why do you feel like your focus is on the negative so much?
Because you almost don't know that positive is there when it's happening. It's like the negatives feel like they're almost more impactful, because if you've got a good thing going on, you're taking it for granted sometimes, and it's just like something hits you in the face, and it's like, holy shit, that was awful, and you just kind of ruminate and sit and stew in it, and then it's like you're kind of stuck going, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks, snowballing all that, sludge up in there. To where it's like you miss little things because you're focused way too much on the sludge, something like that, right?
Something like that for sure.
It seems a little more impactful. At least it can be.
For me, I feel like it falls more into the line, it feels safer to focus on the negative, because sometimes, it is a cycle, the positive, the negative, and you don't want to focus on the positive things and then have them ripped away, because then it's just negative again.
Good old feedback loop.
Mm-hmm. Playing bad tapes over and over again. But the good thing about having a brain and the VCR and those tapes is you can take the damn fucking tape out of the VCR and put in a different one. And that's why, go ahead and open this for us and dump it out or whatever. Just free will it.
All right. ASMR time. Hear that, folks? Oh.
Okay, enough of that. Now,
and what was all that you say?
So to kind of get to the next point on this, what I had my counterpart co-host, what should we call you? You said I can't remember how you introduced yourself. What did you introduce?
I guess we're going with co-host.
What's your
Occasional
name, co-host?
Nathan.
Okay, thank you. We're going with Nathan. Nathan, the co-host.
I didn't even think of any like usernames that I barely even use, so
Okay.
whatever. No projects, no titles.
We can
Just me.
we can evolve that if you choose to evolve that.
Potentially down the line for sure.
So what I had Nathan here do for us is I had him open up my jar here and dump it out. Now, what do you see here? Tell the viewers in your own words what you see here, because it does nothing for...
Well, we've got this little mason jar. It's clear, right? Metal lid. Outside has its own little liner with a big old title, and then like the kind of mission statement on here, right? I think I'll let you read it off because you're the one who put it on here. But then inside the contents we have various little notes, just cut up note paper, right? All folded, you know, some got initials, we got dates, we got, this is the jar of joys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are, I would assume, various joys by whomever initialed these at these various dates. Am I wrong?
No, I wouldn't say you're wrong. Now, what we have here is indeed initialized papers and a title jar. Now, anyone who creates one of these, obviously, you're going to want to do what feels right to you. And if you've seen this photo, we'll get to that one in a minute.
Yep.
You're semi the inspiration for this, but also I had already planned on doing this. Now I have a real reason to do this.
It kind of worked out that way, didn't it?
Luck is an opportunity you have happen or some shit like that. Whatever the hell I have on my mirror.
Something on the back burner, just suddenly you gotta
suddenly works out.
Take off and it's done.
I titled my jar "We Will Grow Together," and there's actually a very everything I do on this journal is, or not journal, jar journal. Sure, jar journal. Everything
it's a little journal, yeah.
Everything I do with this is very intentional. So the mission statement, I like that you put it that way, is fill this jar with little joys and small successes. I spell checked myself because I don't think I know how to spell successes by hand.
I had to do that once last night. As a matter of fact, I was like, "What? How many N's are in that word?" Never mind. Anyways.
No, I had to do the same thing. Spend time. I really hate autocorrect for that. That's like,
We're losing something there.
Yeah, we certainly are. Spend time to reflect, grow, and learn. I grow, you grow, we grow. Now, everything is intentional, as I just said, and these papers are initialized because, yes, this is my jar, and yes, this does have a lot of my influence, but this says we will grow together. And it's a really tiny fucking jar, okay? It's not a big jar. This is a Slim Chickens jar from one of my favorite restaurants because they happen to fucking give us desserts in motherfucking glass jars. You know how cool that shit is? This is not, like, I'm not sponsored, okay? But if you hear this episode, go get some Slim Chickens. They're good.
I'll have to try it sometime.
You will. You will. You might like it. But anyways, side tangent, my bad. These papers are initialized and dated. And at first, I didn't do that. At first, they were just papers. But then I went back and I initialized and dated them after writing my small joys. Because I was like, wait a minute. What I wanted initially was other people to include their small joys. I hold events. I mean, I've held 2 official events, but I hold events sometimes, and that's like something I plan on doing more. And I want this jar to be a centerpiece of those events. I want whoever wants to participate to write on their own little slip of paper, because I keep extras inside the jar for easy travel.
Indeed, there are some blank ones, and I was like, I was going to ask you about those, so.
It takes a lot of work to put those papers together, so please use them.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of meticulous folding and double folding.
Pretty aligned.
They're not cut because I suck at cutting things. But yeah, I want this to be a centerpiece thing. I want you to incorporate your little joys and then initial and date it if you so choose. Maybe leave it blank for anonymity, but
It really is, though, as I kind of took to it. Much as like journaling, and how this is very similar, is you can kind of do whatever the hell you want to do, because when you get down to it, sure, you got your guide there now, right? This is your starting prompt, everybody. It's what you want. You put what you want in it. What are your joys? Yeah? And just thoughts, images, right? Various things. So I used to draw a lot, even though I'm a music guy, right? I'm many kind of talented, fallen out of talented. I'm I'm a jack off of all trades. I can do so much, but I don't. But anyways, art is something I want to get back into, yo. So, and therefore writing, I mean, I can't just write, because that's not something that I used to do, want to get into. So I'm writing these ideas and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, joys are just kind of things you think of, and I get, images of things that I think of, or just ideas that line up, or themes, and I just started doodling. So I made it like an almost full-on arts and crafts project, right? So I figured out how to fold my stuff. I just had some sticky notes. I put the notes, you put them on the inside, right? That's where yours are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. For people who can't, it's folded up. Notes are inside, the joys. It's the important part. On the outside, I like your dates and your initials, but I'm like, I gotta do themes. I made little titles for each one, not just the jar. Actually, I don't have a title for my jar yet. I'm still thinking on it. So mine's not complete yet.
I feel like you said something earlier where you had a title.
I'm thinking about it, but I don't know.
No. It sounded like there was something that would have been a perfect title. I'm just wondering if you remember what it is that you might have said, because I don't, for full disclosure.
Oh, okay. Well, we're both screwed there. My short-term memory.
Oh, you know what? This is a recorded podcast, so you might hear it later.
We'll have an archive. What a great idea.
You know how you wanted to do that self-recorded thing? Because recording history is like, I'm also really glad that you are of the same mindset on that, because recording anything as far as like human story goes, even if we think it's fucking boring, like,
you never know what you recorded when
and how it'll get recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we need to be careful.
And who sticks around through media, or what ideas or things, or see where you've come from, or how far you've come along, that kind of thing. Recordings show us who we were and where we've come.
And who we could possibly be.
Indeed. So I'm tapping the thing. I gotta do something with my hands. Sorry if that's annoying for those of you who weren't into the ASMR sound stuff. I'm just enamored with an actual microphone. This is fun. I'm having
Isn't
fun.
it?
Thank you for having me yet again, So, yeah, my jar, right? We wanted to talk about that. You were like, it can be anything, because it really can be. The jar of joys doesn't have to be an actual jar. So,
Nope.
just looking around, or I'm like, all right, I'm down for this idea, but I'm like, I don't have any jars. What's a container around me? Oh, fancy box thing I had over here. It's kind of buried and it's using for something else. What's around me? oh, oh God. And I was like, no. I'm so sorry, because I was like, that's almost awful. But then I was like, no, something else. And then, no, I still felt the inkling to show you because I thought it was funny as fuck. I'm like, why is this right in front of me? I've got a little collectible, like, trash cans. One's a legit, like, Brute logo, the Rubbermaid fucking trash cans, and one's like a mock recycle bin.
With your permission, can I save the picture and put it as part of the graphics in the description?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We need some kind of visual for this because...
Oh, we're going to have visuals one way or another, whether it's the next time we cover this because the story has developed further. This is just an introduction to the story. Like, there's going to be a whole lore with the Joy's Jar. Like, I don't plan on starting a cult, but I like joy, and people should like joy, right? Joy is a good thing. Happiness and peace, like, we can all strive for that.
Yeah. So, I suddenly like the idea of, Joy's going into a recycle bin at least, because the trash was full, of course. The trash is always fucking full, and it's never getting taken out, right? So
this joke is hilarious. Being there for it was amazing.
Yeah. I'm glad you were like, what did you say? It was, no, it's actually fitting. Because, yeah, if you start thinking about what gives you joy, these little bits of happiness, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, right? It can be anything, of course, but little joys. Just doesn't have to be complicated.
Nope.
Can be any old thought at all, really, because I'm like, what are joys? And it's like, you start at the beginning fishing through what's like the first kind of happy thoughts you think once you start it, what's like the basis for some of your happy thoughts and stuff. And then I picked at least 3 I wanted to start with, because I'm like, oh, okay, start a jar, just throw one in there. No, I'm like, yeah, put a little more thought into it. Just at least 3 as a starting. Once I got there, then it's like, okay, this is kind of working instantly, because now I'm thinking about other shit that I might want to put in there, right?
So for full disclosure, I like what you started with, because when I started this project after compiling the information that I did, I was like, wait a minute. I have ADHD, motherfuckers. I can't write a single note every single day at the end of the day. What am I? Like, good at schedules and stuff? I know me, okay? I know what I'm capable of. And when I created this, the reason I wanted to create it was, like, to include other people, but also to kind of stay on track of something. And yes, the intention was to do what the internet said. Every single day, find a single small joy to write in. But I'm not good at that in general. So I was like, I can't do it even, like, more now. Because, like, now it's like I have to, like, be responsible for finding peace and joy. That's a lot of pressure. Let's start with 1. And I started with 1. And ideally, it's May now, right? I should have a lot more joys in this jar. But...
oh, there's a lot, honestly. I'm looking like, oh. We're kind of covering the notes here.
I started this in January. My intention was to start it January 1st because I had thought about it over winter. And I had like 2 years prior to thinking about it over winter of starting it that I was like, well, yeah. I already know I'm breaking rule number 1, joy every day.
Well,
I actually do have some examples of joys to share with us, which ironically are kind of about the community and podcast. There's other stuff in here, but I just realized.
She's thinking about y'all, everyone.
Yeah.
Y'all are her joy.
You guys are. March 2025. April 1st as well, because this was like a dual like time period I wrote down. I said, I started my podcast and had a guest episode. I'm on episode 18. This was, 319. Started my first podcast and got endearing notes from listeners and friends. You guys know who you are. 2925. I really hate calling it a brand because even though for like all extensive purposes this is the internet, it has to be a brand.
That's the word for it.
It is the word.
Carry some of them negative.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
my community, my joy is growing because this is the things I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do, sitting through class, writing on notebook after notebook and reading instead of doing my schoolwork, because I decided that being ahead was a little bit better, so I could do reading and writing instead.
Don't you just kind of do that naturally as a kid? You just kind of scribble little shit that you'd rather be thinking about than whatever the teacher's droning on about. You just got, whatever is on your mind, just kind of going away, thinking about more of that.
On that note, like the what I want to add to that is there's a lot of truth to that, and it's kind of interesting and wild to like think that so much of like, I don't want to say healing, but like so much of figuring yourself out is remembering who you were growing up.
Indeed.
Who you were growing up was a good example of who you should find again, just as you are now. Meet yourself as you were younger, but in your now form. Super Saiyan that shit.
You really gotta, dig deep and go, would I have done that as a kid? Would little me be proud of that? Would that have been cool to me back then? If not, something not lining up there.
That's actually a lot of why I started doing this stuff, because I started thinking about like, what would little me want? Little me would not want me groveling and upset and letting life pass me by. Little me wanted to get out and make the world smile. Not make them smile, because free will, people don't want to smile all the time, but
or sometimes those muscles are just weird, yo.
Yeah, indeed. But entertainment, at least. I can be entertaining. I can be, as I said before, your court jester.
Yeah. I'll stumble and trip and fall. Okay, I definitely relate with being a jester for y'all.
Welcome to the court.
All right. Yep. That's gonna be good.
I don't know how I had those folded. I messed up.
Hey, look, a free piece of paper right here because wow, I just thought of a little joy. Sorry,
wow.
It's supposed to be meant for your jar of joys, but I'm gonna have to steal it, and it goes in mine now because I was gonna make the fourth one, and I had it in mind, but I procrastinated. But that's okay. Still got other little things going on that are good and keeping the brain moving. But still, the idea is once you think of these joys, how did I put it? I was like, oh my God, it's like a worm got up in there, a little brain worm.
A brain worm.
And is just starting to poke around looking for all these little things. It's like, it tickles. This is ooh.
Okay. Interesting.
Because it's like you get stuck in the shit and you don't rapid fire think about all these little things. Because little joys, little tiny foldable, no bigger than thumbnail, well maybe bigger than that, but
I can make them smaller.
A post-it note, maybe not that small. They might get too hard to read. Because
Sure.
you got to think, you want them to last through time, at least for a while, right? And
jars are great for preserving shit. Ask any person who has a homestead. Or wants one.
Or at least like plastic recycle bins that are only like 6 inches tall. But I was kind of worried about the post-it note glue, so I'm like, maybe I'll redo some of them if they start looking grody. But either way,
shadow box it.
I wanted to preserve the the ideas in like those three kind of lined up as a little. Oh, this is a basis for something. This is a sorry y'all, another nerd here. My own little triforce here. This is my courage, my wisdom, and power. Just a little bit, right? Because I'm like, don't necessarily have to share the joys, right? They can be just for you, because that's the point, yeah? As, or it's what you want, whatever.
So
But I'm
I
like,
don't mean to cut you off here, but
we'll
you
share
are definitely
my
gonna need
doodle.
to.
My doodle is what
You're-
I'm talking about.
You're definitely gonna want to play this episode back, and I might have to as well. But from one janky memory to another, I did say I wanted to incorporate other people's joys into this jar. This is not just my jar. It is anyone's jar who wants to be a part of it. I might have to upgrade one day.
This is true. But I guess maybe that's a main point here I missed of mine is the idea of recycling is, whatever brought you joy, you go back to, and, sometimes you need to recycle these joys and need little reminders. So I'm like, I definitely need it personally first because, we all need little reminders here and there of things that gave us happiness. But other people can bring us joy as well, obviously. So, by all means, a little bit of happiness from others in your own jar never hurt, and actually maybe go a long way, actually. So
you
as
do
you will
see the
with it.
vision.
yes, it makes perfect sense.
I'm really glad that you are also
I-
taking the vision up on yourself.
I just picked this up, right? You're the one who's been planning and plotting, and yet sometimes you just gotta start doing.
I do like the direction that your joy jar is taking. So
So the ones that you're going to share,
technically, I already
besides
shared
just
them.
the viewers out there, the listeners, the peoples. What are some things that you would say are joy for people who maybe are kind of overthinking this? People who are stewing in all things, kind of. I'm like, joys can be. We've got several kind of things here. I'm like, they can just be emotions. What's just a favorite emotion? Hopefully not, anger. I like being angry. Oh, no.
Not sure that one's productive.
No. But it can just be a memory. Nothing big, complicated. Could just be, a little thing like going down to the store with someone or some shit. Anything, right? Or even just people, certain people. Maybe sometimes they piss you off, but hopefully a little more joy there. I don't know. I was like, favorites and simple things, like what's like a favorite food? What's a favorite color? Be like, just, I see green things, I'm like, that resonates with me for some reason, so I'm like, I like the color green. It could be that simple, right? As long as it's any kind of joy. Just something. Something you could laugh at. Put dad jokes, or go with themes, tie some together. Because I'm like, there could be shareable ones, there could be personal ones, there could be your basis for shit. There could be like your personality traits, make them different shapes and sizes, colors, various things. I don't know. Make it your own, right? Are we giving enough ideas here?
Yes, I like the ideas that you're putting out there when it comes to how many different joys there can be and like what joys can be. I was definitely overthinking it for a while. And one of the taglines I use sometimes in my social media posts is find something to make you smile today, or find a reason to smile. Just one smile. Get those face muscles working into a grin, even if it's a tiny little smirk. There's some science I've learned behind laughter and smiling, increasing your mood and bringing dopamine to you. So, one reason to smile. Be that you put on your favorite song and you try to dance a little bit. Be that you read one of your favorite lines out of a book, or you put on a comfort show. The idea of comfort shows might bother you, but they're comfy for a reason. Go find a movie you like.
Something old, something you never tried before, something you've seen a million times. Or here's my example. Just a little joy here, because it's got kind of a story to it. But it's nothing. I'm just like, oh, check out these energy drinks. You ever seen these ones here? I don't know if I want to say which one, because it might stir up, some kind of debate war or something. You never know. Brand wars. But this energy drink, I was like, oh, I get the vibes of this one. It's fancy. oh God, it smells like grape or lavender, but no, it tastes like a shampoo or conditioner. It's so weird. I'm like, oh, this is nasty. I love it. Give me more of the conditioner energy drink. And it's just a stupid little joy. Funny. That's all it takes sometimes.
I really like that. I started getting into energy drinks and coffee, and for a little while, one of my own little joys in the energy drink realm was I have a whole fucking album dedicated to it in my gallery, and it's so stupid. It is the stupidest shit I could ever hope to do with a camera and my phone. But every time I have an energy drink in my hand, I either try to be really creative with it, or I'm just not in the mood and I'm just holding it in my hand and I'm snapping a pic, and it's always in like the 1x1 frame, because for some reason I just like how the drink in the 1x1 frame looks, and I'm like, aesthetic, perfect. And it's sometimes a shoddy drink, it's not even like cool looking, sometimes it's like the shiniest can on the planet, and I'm like, I don't care. For a while that was my thing, and sometimes I still do it as like an homage and put it in the folder, but it was a little joy for a while, just documenting just how many energy drinks I was drinking.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be a perfectionist with everything. You gotta just do something because it's fun.
Coming from a perfectionist. I am a perfectionist, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. Those are my words, but he said them.
Well, sometimes we all get a little stuck on worrying about the finer details. Not everything's going to be just right. And, neither can your joy. Your joy can be
messy.
A little bit.
It can be chaotic. Your joy can be bland. Your joy does not have to be anyone else's flavor.
Nope. Because even if it's mistakes and you can't talk suddenly, you still did something there, and it was you.
Have you ever played the game We Happy Few?
Oh, I have seen that. I might have had the demo. Like all my hobbies, it's gaming's fallen to the wayside, but we're gonna. Yeah. It's. I know it. We'll say that I know it. Anyways, carry on.
I think about that game sometimes in referencing joy whenever I think about that word, and I think about the placebo pills that they take in that game. Did you take your joy today?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that defeats the purpose of joy, just taking a pill to like always be happy and joyful. Like, that's being one way and not any others just feels inhuman. Feels robotic.
The brain is a funny thing with that placebo effect. Even if you think you're getting something that's going to give you that dopamine, it'll still give you that dopamine because the brain's just kind of getting ready and it thinks it's all good. It's something to have to do with just the ritual of it, kind of. Something that you think is the meaning of the solution, something kind of... Yeah, there's something about doing it, whether or not it's actually going to, be that pill magical drug.
As
the fact that you do it is what gives you the dopamine.
As someone who's been on different medications for ADHD and depression, and also off of those medications for ADHD and depression, I think, like most things, moderation and time and place. I don't think you want to spend your entire life on one set of pills or any pills. I think at some point you want to give your brain and your body a chemical detox. Let it naturally coexist with the planet and the people around you.
Yeah, they say some of that stuff's like for life, but I'm like, doesn't your body change throughout most of that?
Your body and brain do change throughout most of your life. That is true.
They just want you to keep coming back, though, I guess.
Which is definitely an episode we need to have, hopefully with a guest too, talking about the medical sciences behind why they have false joy and why we need to take back our fucking joy.
It sure is a system, but maybe that's our perspective as Americans.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if there's the worldly audience out there, I'm sure there's people in better spots who don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, but
I have some friends in the UK, a few in Zealand or New Zealand. I'm hoping to acquire some more from Canada. I had some. I don't know if they're still there. I hope they're still there. Please be there, because Canada's beautiful and I need to visit it one day.
Yep. Gotta go run through those gigantic trees up there.
Oh man, and the mountains up there too. Some beautiful mountains.
See some ice, see some ocean.
See some ocean for sure, yeah. My eyes are set on Calgary in the Alberta province, and I know Calgary's a city, but I'm gonna land ship in the city and then just a fucking pier for a little bit.
Yep. Time for an adventure.
We're going on an adventure. All right. Well, I don't have much more to really add when it comes to the Joy Jar. This was mainly just an introduction, and I'm glad that in my introduction I was able to include a few introductions. The fact that my Joy Jar is spreading. Good.
Oh yes.
Good. This is good.
I swear, y'all, it works. Just try it for a second. It's shocking. Brainworm.
I was getting live updates for this Joy Jar, and I was like, I did it. The thing I set out to do, I did. Let's do it again.
I'm not going to say, but the term could be almost, not guaranteed, miraculous. It's a little.
I promise I did not pay him to say this.
It's its own joy.
I'm broke. There's dust bunnies flying out of my pocket. He is in no way paid or coerced to say this. Please, you're not, right? I didn't make you sign any contracts or anything.
Coming soon to Digital Quill Media. Theme Joy Jar merchandise. Buy your Joy Jars today.
No, we're not going
Digital
corporate.
Quill Media worldwide. All right.
Okay, maybe not worldwide.
I'm sorry. Cringe. You gotta have a little cringe though. I'll laugh at yourself. Here, I just made another Joy for your jar because, like I said, I've got one here for mine, and you can initial that there as you do and such, and share it with y'all because we just talked about it. It's an easy one, right? This will be for the people. For the people. I'm sorry. Too much of the shampoo. It's so good, but so weird.
Okay, but the shampoo and the other forms of shampoo, I'm talking about caffeine, do weird things to the neurospicy. And
oh yeah, we in hyper mode.
We love it. It's nice. Sometimes we hate it. So I was handed a paper here. It says May 20.
That's
Can I
the
read
date
it?
today, right? Oh my god, I
It
don't
is.
even know. Okay.
Good job, it is.
I'm awake, I swear.
May I read it?
Yes.
Okay. It says
For
someday with an exclamation point. So someday.
Someday.
Someday. And a smiley face. And that's a very nice smiley face.
Noise.
It says gotta go see the ocean. Do you space your letters out at all?
It happens sometimes, but there's no rhyme or reason.
I like your penmanship a lot better than mine.
It hasn't changed since the 4th grade, but I make it my own. It is a style.
So can
Which
I
means
have
only
your
I
hands
can
for a
read it.
day?
Only I can read it. I'm sorry.
I read it. I just read it.
Well,
Am I you?
it's been a complaint for some people, but I don't know. You are a well-read human, so
I can't read cursive.
I guess that's what I'm here for. We'll find out. We'll get you doing cursive or something someday. Future podcast episode.
Live action cursive.
We'll get you an actual quill, not a digital one. We'll get you some ink. We'll be
How
like,
do you know I don't
"All right."
already have that?
Well, there you go. Already, see, future podcast episode. We'll get you. It'll be a video one. You know, we'll see you progress through cursive or something. Just spitballing here. I don't know.
Well, on the front of the note to wrap it up here, we do gotta see the ocean one day, and hopefully since I really do like sharing experiences with people, and I like the idea of group events. It doesn't have to be like always a group. Sometimes it can be a solo adventure, but it's better with people, guys. I know the individualist shit. I've done a lot of shit alone, and
Sometimes
sometimes
you go on adventures and have stories to tell, right?
and no one to tell them with.
Or sometimes they were so long ago you wish you brought someone with you because you might start forgetting pieces and might need someone to remind you. It's what I've found out in my age through the years.
I think the human experience is best shared with other people for the majority of the time. There are times you need to branch off and be alone. Isolation is good for growth sometimes, but overdoing it is not good for the psyche. It's not good for humanity in general. And find your guys' joy. Find your smile. Find the light in the dark, even if it's just for a little while. I really hate that line rhymes. I'm not Busta Rhymes, I promise.
But yeah, no. Little things, big things, no matter how big or small. Just start searching, and it's all dopamine. Your brain will just light up and find something somewhere. It's gotta look.
My point is we never have to do shit alone, like going to the beach. And I will hopefully see both you and myself at the beach within the next couple years, and then maybe we'll see the rest of the Digital Quill family at the beach.
Future event.
Mm-hmm.
See, big things in the works here. Getting that ball rolling.
Indeed. First you gotta crawl, then you'll walk. Well, thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for recording this episode with me, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the first co-hosted episode with an in-person guest.
Yes. Thank you all for having me. Have a good rest of your day whenever you may find this little treasure upon the internets. And yeah.
Right. I hope all of you have a great day. As always, humans of Earth, please keep going. Don't fucking stop.
And remember to breathe.
Indeed, breathe. Bye, everybody.